You know, at the end of the day, if I wanted to create something, like global peace, it doesn't matter how big the request is that I put out into the universe. Every single one of us has the potential to do anything that you can conceive of. The problem is believing in yourself. When I wanted to just buy a house and had no money and no savings and bad credit and no income, and got a house within 2 weeks in the most expensive area in Canada, the only thing other than the intentions that I felt, but one of the biggest, strongest things was I believed more than anybody else believed. Everybody else was telling me, you're crazy. You can't do that. All of the limitations that other people had, they tried to convince me I shouldn't want such a big thing, that it was too big, that it was impossible, that I didn't have what it took. But I was a little too stupid and thought, no, I'm going to get that house. I don't care what you believe in. I believe in it. Then there was this time that I was trying to get out of my abusive marriage and tried to see how I can make a living at home, painting hard hats in the oil field. My ex-husband, my husband at that time, was earning a little bit of money from it and was painting them. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try it. So I started airbrushing hard hats and was talking with some Mormons at the time that were going to teach me about God, which I was interested in, trying to save my marriage. I was trying everything. But when that first meeting was up with these Mormons, the airbrush broke. And the first thing that came to my head was, God wouldn't show me I could do this, because it was friggin' amazing. So the wording is God wouldn't show me I had this much talent and then just take the tools away. God's mailing me an airbrush. And then I just had a lot of fun with that. People laughed at me, thought that's a little crazy, right up and... Well, actually, before I even tell you the punchline, which I've said it before, these Mormons came back the second week while I'm saying God's mailing me an airbrush, and they ended up asking me, well, what's your connection with God? And so I told them, well, God's mailing me an airbrush. Can you imagine? They said, God doesn't work that way. You got to save your money, get a job, and buy your own airbrush. That's how God works. And it's like, that's your connection with God. My God is mailing me an airbrush. Within a week later, 2 weeks of me saying it, believing in myself more than the universe trying to get me to doubt myself, I had an airbrush mailed to me. Story after story after story. I can tell you that I've always been off the wall. People have always called me a nut bar. But at the end of the day, anything I say I'm going to do, I end up creating it, especially the impossible. But 2 years ago, when I seen that humanity doesn't care. I mean, you see poverty, you see third world countries, you know that there's a sex trade industry, you know there's abuse, you know there's crime, you know so much is wrong in our world. But when I seen police, politicians, judges, lawyers, non-profit organizations, churches who see it in front of their face, because I was one of them. I needed help from all of these organizations, and I seen that they didn't give a shit. They actually were patting me on the back saying, there, tough it out. Meanwhile, their jobs full time were busy trying to screw me. So I did give up the fight. They wanted to call me crazy. It's like, okay, I'm crazy. All of a sudden I'm getting the same paycheck as when I worked full-time minimum wage and tried to feed my kids, and pay friggin' child support. I had just given up, because who wants to live in a world where none of you care about me? And I know that when I get angry because of what was done to me, I know my anger might show other people that I don't care about them. I know my different perspective in how things work might seem hurtful to other people. So I am part of that game. I may be somebody's enemy. I may be hurting somebody else like I was hurt and didn't know it. We're all doing that. I have a lot of faith that everybody does care about everybody else. We've been just so lacking love that we don't know how to show other people. Our jobs have been designed to actually hurt other people, and we didn't know it. It gave us our paycheck. We thought we were doing the right thing. We were following laws. We didn't know criminals were making those laws. So if you don't feel other people love you, that's not really true. All of us don't know how to love each other. And this has been a game that's been played for hundreds of years. We've been made to make you not understand what love is. That love comes with a car. Love comes with a big house. Love comes with a big paycheck, a big savings account. Then you're a successful person. But you never ever did get any love from that stuff. You just, without it, feel horrible. If you don't get your paycheck, you feel horrible. If you don't have people loving you, you feel horrible. So if this is what horrible feels like, then having it must be love. And that's not it at all. Love comes from within inside you. When you love something, pick anything that you absolutely love.